We continue to see a downturn in our COVID-19 infection rate and hospitalization, so that's really good news. We cannot get complacent, particularly now that Labor Day has passed and we know that spikes can happen after the holidays. So I want to encourage anyone who got together with friends or extended family this past weekend, you need to consider to go get tested this week. I think it's just a good idea. So just please go do it. You don't have to have symptoms. We have more free testing sites than ever before, and most people are getting their testing results in 3 days or less. Go to miamidade.gov/COVID-testing for a list of free testing sites throughout the county. You can make an appointment online, and at several locations, you can just show up. Now it's time to do this and avoid another spike. So I'm asking for the media to help spread the word on testing. Please trust that this is in your reports. It's important to keep the county's infection level low so that we can continue to open up our economy and get people back to their jobs. Now I want to update you on our next steps. Yesterday, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez and I had a conference call with the CDC doctors, including Doctors Fauci and Birx, and we discussed moving the county's curfew to 11 o'clock. The doctor suggested that we do it starting next Monday, which would be exactly 2 weeks since we allowed interior dining at restaurants with limited capacity at 50%. This morning, I also consulted with the county's medical experts, and they agreed that if we continued on this downward trajectory, that we should be able to extend the curfew to 11 o'clock on Monday and also allow some more outdoor activities under strict guidelines. Some of the doctors are joining us today and can answer your questions a little bit later. So here's what we're going to do. 10 p.m. curfew will remain in effect this week. We're making one exception starting tomorrow, only for those attending sporting events, college and professional games that end late. Tomorrow, the Miami Hurricanes play at Hard Rock Stadium with all the strict capacity limits. If you're going to the game, keep your ticket with you in case you get stopped by police when you're heading home. You will not receive a curfew violation as long as you have your game ticket. Also, starting next Monday, September 14th, we will allow more outdoor activities under strict guidelines. This includes opening up Zoo Miami and other outdoor spaces like Jungle Island. However, people must continue to wear masks and social distance. Most of the indoor spaces at the zoo, Jungle Island, and other types of amusements will remain closed. We don't want crowding in enclosed spaces, which spreads the infection. The playgrounds at these sites will also remain closed. Miami-Dade parks will be open until 10 o'clock for sports, and there will be lighting. Baseball and softball will be allowed under strict rules that include wearing a facial covering for the catcher. Rental bikes, scooters, and mopeds will be allowed to open for business, but those micro-mobility companies should have docking stations for the bikes to be returned, and they must supply sanitizing wipes so that users can clean the bike before and after their ride, and these companies will also disinfect the equipment daily. Tour boats and charter vessels will be allowed to operate at 50% capacity. So all these limited openings begin next Monday, not today, not this coming weekend. We want to do this carefully, and it's up to all of us to continue to follow the rules of wearing facial coverings and social distancing to tamp down the spread. We want to make sure that we continue to limit the spread of the virus before we move on to any other openings. So you can't let you down your guard. The county will continue to enforce all the new normal rules, and we will hit you with a $100 fine if you're not wearing a mask, and businesses can get fined up to $500 and risk getting shut down if they're not following the new normal rules. As of yesterday, we have issued citations to 612 businesses and 396 individuals since we started this civil enforcement strategy. Some 140 businesses have been closed until they make the fixes necessary to reopen. Finally, I want to mention that we continue to offer assistance for people and organizations impacted by COVID-19. The latest grant program will help not-for-profit groups. The Department of Public Housing and Community Development is working in partnership with the Miami Foundation to offer $10 million in federal grants to those organizations that have been impacted by the virus and would qualify for this one-time relief. The submission deadline for this application is September 30th. Go to the MiamiFoundation.org to apply. Now I'll say a few words in Spanish before taking your questions. Buenas tardes a todos. En Miami-Dade sigue bajando la tasa de infección de COVID-19. El número de personas en los hospitales también sigue bajando. Estas son excelentes noticias. Pero no podemos ser complacientes. Y más ahora que el Labor Day ha pasado, Sabemos que después de días de festivos, vemos un aumento en la tasa de infección. Por eso les ruego